Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar, Rover Enhancements, Room Type, Billing, and Introducing the Report Inbox. This webinar will be presented by Tyrus McGlone, Stay in Touch Implementation Consultant. My name is Justin DeRisi. I am your moderator, and I am also the customer marketer here at Stay in Touch. Today's presentation will cover how you can get the most out of the latest Rover version 4.9 product update. This update is all about streamlining advanced operational features. In this webinar, you'll learn how to change a room type on a stay card without assigning a specific room or rate, how to display total and commissionable revenues in separate columns, and how to generate reports using the new reports inbox while you're working on other tasks. One small note, this reports inbox is a brand new feature. It will be introduced in an extended rollout starting on December 17th and lasting until late January. So some of you will get it next week, others will not. We will be recording a section on the auto charge deposits later on and emailing it to you later. As always, we will have a short Q&A session at the end of the presentation. You can ask questions in the questions tab in the middle of the control panel. Feel free to submit questions at any time throughout the presentation. However, we will answer them in the order that they were received towards the end of the presentation. That's all I have for right now. Tyrus, if you're ready, I will hand the presentation over to you.
Yes, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Justin. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tyrus McGlone. I am the consultant here for Stay in Touch. As Justin mentioned, we will be going over a few of our new topics today. So the report inbox, which is new to the Stay in Touch team and also new to many of the clients within the next month or so. We'll also go over how to change room types without necessarily assigning a room and also ignoring the extra charge. And last, we will go over the display of the some of the finance commission. So now showing total revenue along with what's actually commissionable out of the total revenue and the percentage in which should be commissioned. So first, I will start with the report inbox. I'll simply go to the menu option in the top left-hand portion of my screen. Many of you, of course, you would just simply go to the report tab here. Many of you are familiar with the new report option as well as the schedule a report and export. However, you will now see the report inbox feature, which is in the middle. I will simply click there, and you have the option to run reports. Basically, after the AWS migration a couple of weeks ago, we implemented this new report inbox feature to efficiently run reports in a smoother manner in the background. Again, this is more efficient and it's a quick way of running the reports. One of the best features about the report inbox is that you can actually keep reports in this inbox for a total of 3 days, well, I'm sorry, actually 4 days, including today's date. So what I'll do, I'll simply hit the new report feature here in the top right-hand portion of my screen. And of course, you can run any report of your choice. I'll choose one of my favorites, which is the market segment statistic report here. And I'll just select my date parameter. I'll keep it for the 12th, which was yesterday. I'll go ahead and select all options. And I will run this report. Now, when you run this report, you will be prompted with this little box here that says report requested. You can access the report in the inbox. So you have the option to go to inbox or close this window. I'm going to go to the inbox. And you'll see that the report that I just ran, which is the market segment statistics report, is currently in progress. So if you want to refresh this, it takes roughly about 30 seconds to a minute to just run the report and store it in your inbox. I'm going to simply hit the refresh button beside the search bar, which actually generates the report. It is, as you can see, is complete with its running process. So you have the option of viewing the report or actually printing it with the report. If you want to view the report from this screen, you would simply click on the little chevron arrow here. which breaks the report down into further detail. So of course, as you can see here, based on this report, I have my parameter set for December 12th, which gives me all the data for December 12th. So any group information, anything that, that's relevant to this particular report. I can also go and print this report as well by simply hitting the print icon. And I can either do the print preview or actually print the report to a designated printer. Now I'm going to go back to the report inbox here for a moment and just show you that, again, this report will stay in the inbox for a total of 4 days, including today's date. So as you can see where you have the date parameter just beside the new report option, I have today's date, which is December 13th. If I hit this drop down, I can also see reports that were ran on the 12th, the 11th, and also the 10th. So these reports will remain in this inbox for, again, 4 days total. Now, what happens if this report, if you run this report on the 9th, is this report no longer available? Absolutely, the report is available. However, you would just need to go back and rerun the actual report for whatever date parameters, and the report will remain in the inbox for whatever day you run the actual report. So if I go to the 10th, you can see that there was no reports ran for the 10th. The 11th, I actually ran the market segment report twice, it looks like. As well as the 12th, I ran the same report one time. So again, this is not to say that you cannot run a report for any day in early December, November, October, or etc. You would just simply have to go back through and rerun the report since it only stays in the inbox for a total of 4 days. Now, as Justin kindly mentioned in the beginning, in the introduction, this is something that we're going to newly roll out within the next 4 weeks. So starting December 17th and going until late January, you may not see this option for the report inbox just yet, but like I said, roughly within the next 4 weeks, you will see this option. Next, I will go over how to change room types for a particular reservation without having to assign an actual room number. So many of you may have had the issue in the past, like changing the room types. It's going to force you to assign a room number and also enter a different charge amount. You have the option to, of course, add the charge amount if you choose, or simply hit no charge. So I'll go to one of our rival reservations. So it looks like I have one here under my name currently. And right now, it looks like this reservation is currently for a junior suite room. I'm going to simply hit the room type. And I'm going to simply change the drop down here to, let's say, a standard queen. Now, when I select standard queen, the available standard queen rooms will come up. However, I do not have to assign the room. I can simply hit change room type. When I hit change room type, it will ask me if I want to charge an additional amount, or if I would like to just say no charge. In this case, I'm going to do no charge. It will revert back to the stay card with the standard queen room selected. Of course, the rate is still the same along with the rate type. Again, I have not made any changes to assigning a room or changing that rate. And last, we will go over the display of commissions revenue. I'm going to log into a different environment for one moment. So I'm going to go here to a test hotel. This is the James Hotel. Going to commissions now, if I go to the menu financial portions of the screen, I'll simply hit commissions. And it looks like I have one commissionable account listed now for ABC Travel. I can actually break this down. As you can see on this first page, it has payable bills, commission, which is 10%, and that we're currently owing $221. If I break this down, it will give me all of the reservations that are commission-based. It looks like there are a few in here. Now, the new column that we added was recently the revenue column. So you'll see revenue listed here that I'm currently highlighting. You have commissionable, the commission amount, and also the amount that was commissioned after you calculated it. So currently, you may just see the commissionable amount and also the 10%, but this will give you the total revenue for whatever reservation should be commissioned. So for example, if you have a reservation that's $500 including room and tax, that would be your total revenue. However, the commissionable amount may only be $420. So in this case, your commission will only be 10% of that $420, which brings you to a $42 commission amount. So again, we added the total revenue there in order for you to see exactly how much that total revenue is. Now, one thing I would also like to share, as you see in this particular example, you see that the total revenue is actually the exact same as the commissionable amount. Whenever you're recalculating commissions, you want to be sure that you're not calculating with your taxes. So how do you do that? I'll simply go to my rates or any rates that may offer commissions. So I'll go to my settings here. I'll go to my rates, and any rates that, again, may offer a commission. I'll just choose something here. Let's see, it looks like bar prepaid commission may possibly offer that. And yes, so if I go to the bar prepaid commission rate, simply go to the rate details. You have additional details here, which gives you, any discounts that are allowed. Looks like commission is turned on. And it looks like I also have 12% commission for all room revenue. So again, although you have your room revenue selected here, this is saying that this will only recalculate commissions on room charge only, not including taxes. So this will go against what you have set up in your actual charge code. So for example, if you have a charge code of 1,000 for room revenue and you have a tax associated with it, it will not calculate taxes when you're doing commissions or recalculating commissions if you simply have the room charge highlighted for charge codes. So again, you want to be sure if you're going over commissions and you see that maybe you're paying out a little more than expected, you want to ensure that your taxes is not associated with that actual commission. And it looks like we're all done with the actual webinar features for the hot topics. As Justin mentioned, we have one more, which is the auto charge deposit. We will be sending out a video for that within the next couple of days for everyone to view. I guess we could hand over to the question portion.
Sure. So just to remind you again that you can submit questions in the question box in the middle of the control panel. It looks like we do have one question right now. This is from Hillary. Hillary asks, it is not possible in my system to check or uncheck the charge code options under charge codes. It does say for any of the over 300 rates, it does stay for any of my over 300 rates, i.e. I cannot check room charge only and leave the tax unchecked. Tyrus?
Thank you for the question, Hillary. I just want to, I guess, maybe get a little bit more clarification from you. I'm not sure if you're referring to where I was previously in the rate portion of the screen. This may have to follow up with a separate question.
Sure.
But if I go to rates here, and again, if I choose any rate that may be commissioned, I'm not sure if this one is commissioned or not. I'll go to rate details, additional details. This one is commissioned. So for an example, this one right here, this may not be checked, which means if I were to take commission on this or recalculate something, it will actually calculate your room and taxes. So you just want to simply hit the charge code for the 1,000 here, which should actually block out any of your room and taxes. Now, if that is, I'm assuming if that's the part of the screen that's not able for you to check, or?
So Hillary responds, she says, yes, that's where I mean. If you do it in my screen, I can click save, but when I go back, it doesn't stay.
That may be an actual, another configuration setting somewhere in your property. It would be something that we might have to take a closer look at, maybe off the webinar call, and maybe we could work on creating a ticket for you to have someone from our team or even myself to reach out to you to see exactly what the setting may be missing for your particular hotel.
So, yeah, I think you might need to submit a support ticket. Actually, Tyrus, that might be a good opportunity to show our audience how to submit a support ticket. It's very easy. Additionally, Hillary, you can shoot me an email after the presentation, and I'll do my best to connect you with the right people who can resolve your issue.
And yes, thank you, Justin. So for many of you who may not be familiar with support tickets, during the onboarding process or after your site has gone live with the consultant, you should have received a link for what we call Fresh Desk. I'll actually open up one here for you. It's called Knowledge Base Fresh Desk. And this will give you, pretty much information about the S&T Rover platform in general. So going through to different topics, you have FAQ and troubleshooting. You actually have training documents, Rover housekeeping, and they're all split up into different sections. However, there's one unique section at the very top, basically welcoming you to help desk and user creating an account, and how to submit a support request. So again, if you actually go through this document, it gives you step by step. Now you will have to have a username and a password in order to create an actual ticket. Once you create a ticket, it will go to a support team in which they will respond back to you accordingly based on the priority level of your ticket. Once you create a ticket, you can also check the status of it. Of course, again, this is also with a username and password, so you can log into your account, check the status of your ticket. And like I said, this gives you other valuable information about creating a ticket as well as other Rover topics. So again, Hillary, I would certainly advise maybe creating a ticket for that particular problem in your charge codes, and we will be glad to take a look at that for you.
Are there any additional questions? It doesn't look like it. Looks like Hillary was successful in opening a ticket, which is excellent.
Wonderful, Hillary.
If there aren't any questions, Tyrus, do you have any concluding remarks or anything else you want to say?
Yes, thank you, Justin. So again, going back to what Justin and I previously mentioned, I don't want to be misleading with the report inbox functionality that I previously went over. Again, when you go to your actual report section of Rover, it will give you the new report and also the schedule report and export. You will not see that option for report inbox. Some hotels may see it gradually, but we're going to gradually roll out the actual report inbox within the next 4 weeks.
Excellent. And with that, I'd like to conclude this presentation. Thank you, Tyrus, for another concise and insightful view into Rover's updates.
Thank you.
Just to briefly recap, today we've learned how to generate reports using the new reports inbox. Change a room type on a stay card without assigning a specific room or rate. And we learned how to display the total and commissionable revenues in separate columns. Hopefully this lets you better navigate some of Rover's more advanced features, allowing you to work more quickly and smarter as well. With that, I'd like to conclude the presentation. Thank you all very much for coming. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to email me at jderisi@stayintouch.com. That's JDERISE@stayintouch.com. Thank you very much.